Hey, it's Marco here from Fair Realty from sunny Victoria, BC with your September 2023 real estate market update. So let's get started. For the month, we had 493 sales. This was up from last year. We only had 410 sales last year. Last year was very slow. 2021, we had 761 sales. 2020, we had 989 sales, or more than double than we had this September. So sales all in all were quite slow. We're on pace for about 6,400 sales for the year. If you watch my video from December, January, where I made predictions for 2023, I predicted 6,500 sales. So coming in close to my prediction, 6,400 sales for the year. It's going to be the lowest we've seen in more than 10 years. And we have a record number of real estate agents licensed with the Victoria Real Estate Board. So tough times in the real estate industry. A record number of real estate agents and the slowest sales we've had in more than 10 years. Let's go to new listings. New listings, we had 1,297 new listings. This was up from last year, up from the year before. In fact, 1,297 new listings is the highest number of new listings we've seen in more than 10 years. If you've watched my monthly market update videos over the last 10 years, you'll notice I've never talked about new listings to a great extent. I've given the numbers. I've never really talked about it until now, because for the last 10 years, new listings for the most part have been trending downwards. But now we saw a 10-year high for the month of September. So that poses the question, are the interest rates finally putting pressure on some sellers? And is it going to bring more inventory to the market in terms of new listings? I wouldn't jump to conclusions just quite yet. The reason being is most of the new listings we had in September were in the first 2 weeks of September, and then things tapered off. So I really want to see the numbers for October and whether we get another strong October in terms of new listings. If October is high on new listings yet again, then I am going to infer a conclusion that perhaps interest rates are putting pressure on sellers, which might bring more properties to market. If October level is off, then honestly, I don't know. So as a result of slow sales and new listings coming to market, active listings climbed up to 2,699. This is up from last year, up from 2021 when we only had 1,124 active listings, up from 2020, a bit down from 2019. But if we go back 10 years to 2013, still substantially down compared to 2011, 12, 13, 14. Those years, some Septembers, we had approaching 5,000 active listings. So let's go to the fun part. Single family home median, 1.21 million. That is actually the highest median we've seen all year. And quite surprising. I really did not think that we would hit a peak in September in terms of the single family home median. Looking at the number, you would conclude that prices have gone up. However, it takes a bit of analysis and experience to conclude that this high for the year is actually not a reflection of the market. If you break down the analytics, really what happened is there were more sales in areas that are not as dependent on mortgages and credit, such as the Victoria Core, Oak Bay, Saanich, and there were less sales on the West Shore, areas that are more dependent on credit, where affordability has been crunched due to interest rates. So as a result of there being a shift towards more sales, I shouldn't even say more, just the areas that are less dependent on credit, we didn't see as much of a decline in sales as we did on areas that depend traditionally more on credit. Therefore, the median increased. I would not be surprised if this median dropped in October. So the fact that we had the highest median all year long, I would not conclude that prices are going up whatsoever. The condo median was 559,000, as you can see, within the range of the last 5-6 months. Once again, a lot going on. There's a number of projects being completed, such as Dockside by Bosa. A lot of newer units coming to market that were just completed. Obviously, these units are going to be more expensive than your typical resale unit. So all these equations and factors can move the median, but for the most part, it appears that condo prices were flat, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's actually some downward pressure on prices when you look at each individual unit on its own merits rather than the median. So all in all, what's going on out there? Interest rates, they're high. They're the highest we've seen in decades. The market so far has been extremely resilient to these very high interest rates. How much longer can the market hold on? Tough to say. If we start seeing active listings climb above 3,000, above 3,500, and the sales pace remains at what it is right now, which is slow, we could be seeing some downward pressure heading into December, January, February. I certainly cannot see much upward pressure on pricing at this point, despite the numbers. As I said, single family home median, the highest it's been this year, not an actual reflection of the marketplace. If you're a seller right now, you got to think of it this way. There was 493 sales, 2,700 listings, less than 1 in 5 properties sold in the month of September. If you want to sell, you have to price at market or slightly below market. If you're above market value, you're not going to go anywhere. And if you're a buyer, it's a good idea to get qualified, to be pre-approved. There could be some buying opportunities coming up October, November, December, because there's going to be certain sellers that absolutely have to sell. Death, divorce, relocation, and there might be some opportunities in this market if you're a buyer. That's it for this week. Marco Duras, Fair Realty.